Welcome back. Still taking your phone calls, 412-575-2600 on the Borders and Borders hotline. Josh Taylor, Paul Zeise, we're both here with you. Let's go to Marilyn in Munhall. Marilyn, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hi, Marilyn.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling in.
I don't understand why they pulled in Zeise to help Boswell. Then they put him on the IR, and then they pick up a guy who two other teams have dropped, who had missed 5 out of 9 field goals.
Marilyn, we don't understand either.
maybe
we don't either.
Here's a strange thing. Maybe he's actually hurt.
I mean, possibly. It would fit into a terrible Greek tragedy. I had a guy to call the station A Sports Bar. Why would they go through all this? I'm like, dude, if I knew that, I'd work there.
Maybe he's actually hurt.
Maybe.
Imagine that.
Maybe. Do you really believe that, though?
No, but...
Let's go to Andy. Munhall's in the building, for the record. 3 straight callers from Munhall. Andy, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Oh, hi, Josh. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I just have a question and comment about professional sports in Las Vegas.
Okay.
With the Raiders moving there in 2020, see the Oakland Athletics possibly being packaged with them? It's like a double thing.
I have not heard anything of that sort, but thank you for the call, because as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, the A's just had another proposal for a stadium on the other side of the bay from where they are now in Oakland. So they're actually trying to stay within that Northern California
Yeah, it
area.
seems to me like the A's are staying.
Yeah.
There's going to be, I would say, in the next 5 years, an NBA team there too.
I was going to say NBA's next.
NHL and NFL will probably all be there. I don't know about baseball.
That was my guess.
Unless someone like the Marlins or one of these teams like that,
If there's a relocation, maybe, or they're talking about Major League Baseball expanding. I've heard Portland being one of those cities.
Oh, please no.
They've talked about. I think North Carolina has been discussed. Vegas has been in there, and Montreal, of course.
Think about how
Love to see Montreal.
Think about how bad pitching already is.
Yeah.
Now you're going to add, what, 12? There's 12 pitchers on a staff, so you're going to add 24 more.
24 more
jobs?
pitchers.
Ugh.
Yeah, and depending on where you are, maybe even 26 pitchers, depending on the staff and the manager.
That's brutal. That would be bad.
It's something to think about. And if you're talking about how there's so much of a disparity, with the talent and resources that are already being allocated, doesn't that thin the herd even further? In theory.
Yeah.
In theory, that would be.
I would not want more baseball teams.
I'm curious to see. And the only reason why I think it makes sense is to even out the leagues, to have even numbers.
But here's the other thing. With all these teams now enamored with and infatuated with the opener nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean.
It makes it a little bit more plausible.
There's just not going to be, it's just, that would be bad.
If you're the Players Association, now this is just me talking. If I'm Tony Clark and I'm saying you want to expand to 32 teams, you got to have a DH in both leagues.
You have to have a DH in both leagues. And if I'm Tony Clark, I can say, okay, you have to have a DH, and also you have to have 3, like the NFL have like an inactive list of 3 or 4 guys for the roster. Because here's the thing to me, and I hate to get off this thing, but September baseball is the dumbest thing in sports. You play a certain way for 3 months, and then the final month of the season, when it's really the most important time of the year, you play a completely different game.
I've had a couple of great discussions during Pirates Spring Post with Jack Sorensic, and he will tell you straight up that there is a way for it to be played in September, and there is a way for it not to be played in September. And if you don't do it, other ball clubs notice, and they will take it out on you. It's something that they are very adamant about, that there's things you don't do in that final month, because guys are contending.
I'm just saying, give like a 3 or 4, make the roster 29 instead of 25. And you have 4 inactives. If you really want to do it like football, you have 4 inactives for every series.
I think that's a good way to look at it.
So that way, you can't play around every single day and mess around. You know what I mean? You got 4 inactives for these 3 games,
Andy,
or 4 games, or 2 games, or whatever.
Andy, you spawned some serious thought. That was a good question. We got to take a break. We'll wrap up when we come back. Stick around.